धर शिव सदी गौर भक्तवृंदा। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की, श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, श्री निताई गौर सुंदर की, पतित पांचव प्रपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ममता श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, पतित पांचव प्रपाद की जय, श्री जगन्नाथ बलभद्र सुभद्रा महारानी सुदर्शन की जय, श्री निताई गौर सुंदर की जय, प्रहलाद नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Starting from Gantra Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 23, entitled as Maharaj Pitu's Going Back Home, text number 26. Gantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Saisanunam brajati urdhvam anuvainyam patim sati. पश्यतास्मन् अतीत्यार्च दुर्विभाव्येन कर्मणा Saisa nunam brajati urdhvam anuvainyam patim sati pasyat pasyatasmanam pasyatasmana atityarach durbibhavyena karmana saisam nunam brajati urdhvam vainyam patim sati pasyatasmana atityarchir durbibhavyena karmana saisanunam brajati urdhvam anuvainyam patim sati pasyatasmana atityarchir durbibhavyena karmana saisanunam vrajati urdhvam anuvainyam patim sati pasyatsmana atityarchir durbibhavyena karmana. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: The wives of demigods continued, just see how this chaste lady Archi, by dint of her inconceivable pious activities, is still following her husband upward as far as we can see. Once again, the wives of demigods continued, just see how this chaste lady Archi, by dint of her inconceivable pious activities, is still following her husband upward as far as we can see. Om Tat Sat. Purport: Both Pitu Maharaj's airplane and airplane carrying Queen Archi were passing out of the vision of the ladies of the higher planetary systems. These ladies were simply astonished to see how Pitu Maharaj and his wife Archi achieved such an exalted position. Although they were wives of the denizens of the heavenly planets, higher planetary systems, and Pitu Maharaj was an inhabitant of the inferior planetary system, the earth. The king, along with his wife, passed beyond the realms of demigods and went upward to Vaikuntha Loka. The word Urdhvam, upward, is significant here, for the ladies speaking were from the higher planetary systems, which includes the moon, sun, and Venus, up to Brahmaloka, or the highest planet. Beyond Brahmaloka is spiritual sky, and in that spiritual sky there are innumerable Vaikuntha Lokas. Thus the word Urdhvam indicates that the Vaikuntha planets are beyond or above these material planets. And it was to this Vaikuntha planet that Pitu Maharaj and his wife were going. This also indicates that when Pitu Maharaj and his wife Archi abandoned their material bodies in the material fire, they immediately developed their spiritual bodies and entered into spiritual airplanes, which could penetrate the material elements and reach the spiritual sky. Since they were carried by two separate airplanes, it may be concluded that even after being burned in the funeral pyre, they remained separate, individual persons. In other words, they never lost their identity or became void, as imagined by impersonalists. The ladies in the higher planetary systems were capable of seeing both downward and upward. When they looked down, they could see that the body of Pitu Maharaj was being burned and that his wife Archi was entering into the fire. And when they looked upward, they could see how they were being carried into two airplanes to the Vaikuntha Lokas. All of this is possible simply by Durvibhavyena Karmana, inconceivable activity. Pitu Maharaj was a pure devotee and his wife Queen Archi simply followed her husband. Thus they can both be considered pure devotees, and thus they are capable of performing inconceivable activities. Such activities are not possible for ordinary man. Indeed, ordinary man cannot even take to the devotional service of the Lord. Nor can ordinary women maintain such vows of chastity and follow their husbands in all respects. A woman does not need to attain higher qualifications, but if she simply follows in the footsteps of her husband, who must be devotee, then both husband and wife attain liberation and are promoted to Vaikuntha Lokas. This is evinced by inconceivable activities of Maharaj Prithu and his wife. Om Tat Sat. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घ्यायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्. So this is special verse is showing that how Prithu Maharaj and Archi, the wife of Prithu Maharaj, both of them are going to spiritual world. Many points we can derive from here, discuss. First thing is, the spiritual planet Vaikuntha is not an imagination or some imaginary place or some sort of concept. It really exists. How this material world exists, similarly the spiritual world exists. For material world, we can understand it exists for some time and then it does not exist, manifested and unmanifested. But the spiritual world is always manifested. So the existence of the spiritual world is the reality. And it is also, we can see it is described that where is the spiritual world. The spiritual world is urdhvam, in upper direction. It's mentioned that on earth, according to our direction, if we see towards the north, means this side, and if you see towards this side, then all the heavenly planets are there, and beyond that there is a Brahma Loka, and then beyond that there is a spiritual sky. In the spiritual sky all the Vaikunthas are situated. So so here we also constantly traveling from here to there. In this life itself we can see we are traveling. Some of the living entities like the plants, trees, they are standing still. We are moving from one place to another place. The time of death, we move from one species to another species, from one planet to another planet. 84 lakh species and 14 planetary systems are there in this material world. And we can go from one universe to another universe also. So we can go from anywhere we can go. Avagaman. Brahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartino Arjuna. But wherever we go, we cannot stay there permanently. We have to quit the body, and according to our karma, again we have to go from one place to another place. When we go to heavenly planets, it said that we can stay in heavenly planet as long as our punya is in stock. Punya is chine punya mrte lokam vishanti. Then punya is finished, again we will have to take birth in earthly planet. Similarly, if we have performed sinful activities, we will go down lower planetary systems, hellish planetary systems, and in this way we will keep moving. Here we see that this kind of movement in the material world is according to our karma, and we are forced to take birth and die. Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Dosanu Darshanam, and we have to continuously go through suffering. This human form of life is actually meant, special purpose for human form of life is to revive our consciousness and go back to Godhead. This going back to Godhead, we can see practically how uh, Prithu Maharaj, being a pure devotee, he is going back to Godhead. And Archie, just simply following him in all respect, she is also going back to Godhead. So this is the special point highlighted by wives of demigods. Wives of demigods, they are seeing, Prabhupada is saying that they are seeing down. Prithu Maharaj his body is entered into fire. His body is burning, and Archie is entering into the body of in that fire. uh, in that fire, she is entering, and she is also instantly reviving her spiritual body and getting into spiritual airlines, Vaikuntha Airlines, and she is going up. So they are seeing that how Archie, she is coming from Mrityu Loka, and then she is going up, and then she is going beyond the demigods' wives, the demigoddesses they could see. So they are going into spiritual world. So just by following pure devotee Prithu Maharaj in all respects, Archie, she gets the same destination. She also follows her husband and goes back to Godhead. So this is the secret. We have to follow Srila Prabhupada. By following Srila Prabhupada, we see his pure devotee, and we'll also develop the qualities of pure devotee, and we'll also go back to Godhead. Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, Anta kale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevram ya prayati samadbhavam nati yasti samsaya. There is no doubt, O Arjuna, if you think about me at passing away, quitting this body will come back to me. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyasti yante kalevram tam tam evaiti kaunte sadatat bhava bhavita. And in whatever state of consciousness we are at time of quitting the body, we'll get that kind of body. Bharat Maharaj, he was thinking of deer, and he became deer. There may be a question in our mind, Bharat Maharaj, why he became deer? You see Bharat Maharaj, how strictly he was following and how sincere he was, how much effort he has taken, and he became deer. Yes, this is the laws of nature. It's very stringent. It's like fire. If a small boy also touches the fire, it will burn. An elderly person touches the fire, also it will burn. There is no excuse. No, fire should not burn them. Fire will do its work. So like that, the laws of material nature is very stringent. We have to keep ourselves in proper consciousness, in a proper situation at time of death. Even at time of death, then only we can go back to Godhead. This is what is mentioned by these pastimes, that even Bharat Maharaj, he became deer. But since he has practiced devotional service very sincerely, he was able to immediately correct himself, and very shortly from there he went back to Godhead. This is one pastime. Another pastime we see Ajamila. Ajamila, he saw Vishnu Dutas. 4 of them came because he chanted Narayana. 4 syllables, so 4 Vishnu Dutas, exactly looking like Lord Vishnu, they came. And they all chastised Yamdutas, and there was a through and front and back there was discussion between Yamdutas and Vishnu Dutas, and finally Yamdutas, they left out of fear and frustration, they left. And here already Ajamila was very frightened by seeing Yamdutas. So when he saw Vishnu Duta, he was very surprised. And then they were discussing, he was listening very attentively. So his past memories was revived. And it seems that when Yamdutas left, then he wanted to speak to Vishnu Dutas. He wanted to approach to them. But as soon as he was trying this, they also disappeared. So they didn't stay back. Oh, now you can come back with us. Your full sins are eradicated because you have chanted names of Lord Narayana. You come back with us. So they did not do this. They just left. Because though Ajamila has become sinless, but still he has not developed the necessary qualification to go back to Godhead. So he actually was not taken right away. Though his time in that body was finished. But again, by mercy, causeless mercy of the Lord, he got second chance. His body was extended, his life was extended, and he took advantage of that. He went to Badrinath and he performed very nice sadhana. Always chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Very attentive. He was chanting very attentively the names of the Lord. And we see also from Badrinath there is a place from where Ajamila left. Like how we see Prithu Maharaj and Archi, they are leaving. Similarly, he also left. For him, an airplane came and he boarded on the airplane and he left. This airplane is very subtle, a spiritual airplane. So it can penetrate all the material coverings. Otherwise, it's very, very difficult. So he left. And we see that how Dhruv Maharaj also left. Dhruv Maharaj is mentioned that he just he took bath in the river, and then at the time death personified came, then he went around and Vaikuntha Airlines also came. Then he went around all the Vaikuntha Vasis who came with the airlines, and he used the Mrityu, death personified as stepping stone, climbed on the head, and then he climbed on the chariot, that Vimana, and from there he left. There are so many people we see that we live. Especially in the past times of Ajamila is very instructive. Ajamila, we see that he was a very nice Brahmana. He was following all the Vidhi Nised, rules, regulations, do's and don'ts properly. But one place he made a mistake. What was his mistake? He trusted his mind and started doing whatever mind says. We know that how when they went to forest to collect the firewood, and then he saw some off-sins, and then his mind from there on took him on ride. And then he just went on like whatever mind says, he did not resist it. And he just kept on doing one after another. And he went into such a state where it was not possible for him to come back. That's how the mind is carrying all the living entities. The living entities, they say that soul is pure, but the covering is become so thick that we are not able to see ourselves as a soul. Prabhupada is telling on the way to Krishna consciousness, on the way to Krishna, that we are sitting and practicing Krishna consciousness, but suddenly we will remember something very old things. Some old memories will come. From nowhere it will pop up. No reason, it is just coming. When the thoughts is coming, especially when we are chanting, all the old things will come. Very, very old things will come. So Baba is telling it's because from where this memory is coming, because it is stored in our subconscious mind. And subtle body is there, it is stored there, and sometime, but somewhere it's getting triggered and it's coming on surface. So, uh, so mind is like a pond. Hmm? So our practice of Krishna consciousness is to still the mind and be in good state of mind, so that we can remember Krishna. Hmm? That's what our sadhana is. We are trying to make it quite peaceful, so that we can always remember Krishna. Hmm? But if we are careless, hmm, and we don't follow the rules and regulations, and we agitate the mind. Hmm? Agitate the mind is like a dropping a stone inside this clear water. Then all the muds will come up. All whole thing will become very dirty. Hmm? Then in that disturbed state of mind, is very difficult. It will be very difficult to remember anything. That's how people fall down. Ajamila, same thing happened. Just he once only he trusted his mind, and then there onwards he was not able to control his mind. He did not resist, and then went on like that. So you have to be very, very careful. You should never trust the mind. You should always be in association of devotees. Ajamila, uh, uh, even Bharat Maharaj, because they were not able to get proper assistance on whatever it may be, but uh, uh, no, they had to go through this life lessons. So we have to be also similarly very, very careful. We should not take any risk. Follow all rules, regulations, not deviate. Whatever slight deviation will lead to one after another to further deviation, to further deviation. To be very, very careful. So, in whatever state of consciousness we keep ourselves, according to that our next body will be prepared. Lord Krishna is giving this example that how wind is carrying the smell. Similarly, consciousness is carrying the soul. So whatever consciousness we have, according to that, we will be forced to enter into the womb, that type of womb. And then we have to take birth and death. If we are fortunate, again we will be getting body, we'll be getting devotional service, and we'll be starting from there. And we are not fortunate, then again we will go through this 84 lakh species again and again and again and again, and we don't know when we will again come back. Okay, if we take this example, in this case that we are fortunate and we will get again we will get a devotees association and all that, and we will continue our Krishna consciousness. But still, that situation won't be so favorable like this life. It's like how we see Kali Yuga is progressing every day. So many unwanted qualities, unwanted things are there. Falsity, violence, all adharmic qualities all is day by day it's increasing. So it's becoming more and more difficult place to live in. In future lives, if we come back also, it will not be so easy if compared to what present situation is. So we should be careful. Whatever time we have, we can perfect our Krishna consciousness if we are sincere. The example is given Khatwanga Maharaj. He was fighting for Devas, and then fight is over, the Devas offered him boon. Because he was a devotee, he thought, what boon I will take? I don't need anything. But just to satisfy them, he asked, oh, you please tell me how much life is remaining for me. Then they said, from here 1 moment, and on the earth it is 1 muhurtam. Then very smartly, Khatwang Maharaj said, oh, then immediately send me to earthly planets. Then he was transferred to earthly planets, and he's got 1 muhurtam means how many hours? Muhurtam. No. In one day and night, 24 hours, 8 muhurtam is there. So 24 divided by 8, how much? 3 hours. So 3 hours only he had. When in these 3 hours, he unflinchingly thought about Krishna. Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Dhama. Just thought about it. And he went back to Godhead. So whatever life we have, if we sincerely practice Krishna consciousness, we have a great hope. By mercy of Prabhupada, by mercy of Lord Chaitanya, Guru Parampara, mercy of all the Vaishnavas, we have a wonderful opportunity. Just that we have to keep ourselves in Krishna consciousness. We should not get diverted. We should not get deviated. So never trust the mind. One day Lakshmi Krishna Prabhu sent one quote. You should never trust the mind. Prabhupada is telling you should never trust the mind. Mind is very, very strong, and it can swipe away, very easily any one of us. So we should be very, very careful, not trust the mind. We should strictly follow what is asked by Prabhupada. Whatever mentioned in his books, we should strictly follow. We should be in association of devotees. We should chant very attentively. We should honor Krishna Prasadam. We should study Prabhupada books scrutinizingly. We should be careful. It's not take it very lightly. So here we see that by just following the pure devotee, Archi, she also went back to Godhead. So that's how this process is. Just by following pure devotee, we also will be able to get the same destination. Prabhupada is writing here that all of this is possible simply by durvibhavyena karmana, inconceivable activity. Pitu Maharaj was a pure devotee, and his wife Queen Archi simply followed her husband. Thus they can both be considered pure devotees. And thus they are capable of performing inconceivable activities. Such activities are not possible for ordinary men. Indeed, ordinary men cannot even take to devotional service of the Lord. Nor can ordinary women maintain such vows of chastity and follow their husbands in all respects. Woman does not need to attain higher qualifications, but if she simply follows in the footsteps of her husband, who must be a devotee, then both husband and wife attain liberation and are promoted to Vaikuntha Lokas. This is evinced by the inconceivable activities of Maharaj Pitu and his wife. So both Maharaj Pitu and Archi, they were able to perform inconceivable activities. We see how Prabhupada spread Krishna consciousness around the world in very short span of time, towards the end of his life. So it seems inconceivable or not. Then how it became possible? It became possible because certainly there is a hands of Krishna in this. Because of hands of Krishna. Because Krishna is involved. What is inconceivable for us is not something very difficult for the Lord. Because by the involvement of Krishna, it became possible. So Uh, so we should, our going back to Godhead seems to be inconceivable. Correct or not? Seems to be not possible. We can never go back to Godhead. Correct or not? But it can happen, or it will happen by the mercy of Lord. When the Lord is involved, then it's not impossible. So we have to actually depend on the mercy of Lord. We have to invoke the mercy of the Lord. And somehow or other, the Lord's mercy flows, then surely we'll go back to Godhead. It's not that no, me and you cannot go back to Godhead. We can go back to Godhead, provided the Lord extends His mercy upon us. And that for that we have to pray to the Lord. We have to do whatever is required to draw His attention. See that how these pastimes of Mother Yasoda and Mother Yasoda binding Krishna. So initially mercy did not come. Yasoda Maya she was trying from morning onwards. She is trying very hard to bind Krishna, but mercy was not appearing. Finally only mercy came. Surely mercy came, but it came later. How it came? She kept on trying her best. She was putting all her effort to bind Krishna. In very determined way she was doing this. And then finally Krishna, mercy appeared. It says that Krishna's mercy is the queen quality of Krishna. So when she comes, then all other energies of Lord give way. So finally she appeared. How she appeared? Krishna noticed. Oh, my mother is big. So from morning onwards, tirelessly, she wants to tie me. Then Krishna felt, oh, let me be tied. So that Mother Yasoda, she is relieved. So that mercy appeared. So similarly, if we determined way constantly put our effort, pray to Lord sincerely, then the Lord's mercy will surely flow in. Because we all related with the Lord. We are part and parcel of the Lord. The Lord is our Supreme Father. So, as Father is always affectionate towards His children, the Lord is always affectionate to all of us. So, if we consistently determined way, if we try, put our effort, surely we will derive mercy of Lord very soon. श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय, श्री सताई गौर सुंदर की जय, पतित पांच प्रभुपाद की जय. Should not think that, oh, I cannot go back to Godhead. We can go, surely we can go back to Godhead. We should never give it up. But we can go back to Godhead not by our effort alone. We purely depend on the mercy of the Lord, and mercy of the Lord will flow by our determination and our effort to satisfy and please Him. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, पतित पांच प्रभुपाद की जय.